We're going to be reading The Savage Sword of Conan, issue number 95 from 1983 of December. As you can see, the stylized mustache of the rat god, which will make more sense when we see the theme of the actual story. I really like this story, even though it's kind of hackneyed. It's kind of the plot's kind of anticipatable, but it really works well with the artwork. So let's get started. The Savage Sword of Conan, 1983, December, issue number 95, The Night of the Rat. To reign as emperor in exotic Cathay, jade-rich city-state of western Kitai, is to walk a never-ending daily tightrope between life and death. So it is now, so it has always been. These two stoneware decanters, for example, are identical in every respect, except that the wine in one of them has been laced with a poison so deadly that death would be nearly instantaneous. The same is true of these twin bowls of fruit. Of these perfectly matched doors, one offers safe departure from the throne room, while the other hides a starving tiger. The objects are switched about daily by royal retainers in accordance with a time-honored random routine. Thus, it ensures that His Imperial Majesty will never know just which items have been rendered lethal and which have not. It may seem like a cruel lot to impose upon a ruler, but here in Cathay, it is believed that only so long as their monarch retains the instinctual vitality to choose correctly, does he deserve to wield imperial power over their lives. Imperial Majesty, No! May the gods preserve us. His Excellency opened the lid of the snuff chest that housed the viper. Thus do the reigns of monarchs oft end abruptly in pearl-domed Cathay. Meantime, in the desert, she's directly below us now, chieftain, that gold-rich caravan we've waited for. And yet the gait of their camels would suggest that they're not carrying very heavy loads. Bah, you're wrong, chieftain, you must be. Besides, pickings have been so lean of late, a few bolts of rich silk would likely make me happy. Silk, gold, what does it matter so long as we become rich? But, what? You heard me, friend, you're too late. The Snow Raven and her brigands surprised us at the Taisan Oasis, stripped us clean of practically everything except for our whiskers. Blast! That's the third time she's done that to us in as many months. What's wrong with that slut? Doesn't she realize being an outlaw is a man's job? Ho, chieftain, have a look over here. It may be just we'll find something under here that raven-tressed brigand queen overlooked. There, I've matcha and namine. It nearly tore off my arm off. Little wonder the snow raven left it behind. Crom's fiend, old man. Why in the devil? Don't ask me, friend. It's bound for the royal palace in Cathay. That's all I know. And so, blast, empty-handed again. I don't know about you, chieftain, but a few dozen tankards of the local brew would wash this bad taste from my mouth and improve my disposition. A sharp sword, a stout steed, and gold enough to drink till we drop. That's all a fighting man needs. Gold, I want diamonds as big as my head, rubies that could choke a Stygian. Let's not forget a warm place to sleep. And wenches, soft and slow-eyed, with pleasing curves smelling of jasmine, and would rose petals do instead of jasmine? Am I soft enough for a Cimmerian's taste? And curved enough to please me too. Perhaps we could adjourn to more private quarters, to please me further, or to set me up for a broken head and a slit purse. Very perceptive for a barbarian, Mitra. That first blow should have split your skull. But no matter, I'm a patient man. You clumsy fool, hurry up and finish him. My arm, he broke my arm. And that blow woke me up. Crom. What? Why, my wrist, you... Ah! Ugh. As for you, wench, no, guess, don't hurt me. They made me do it. They said if I didn't... Hey, you overgrown K-Bear, put me down. Keep quiet, woman. You said you wanted some privacy, didn't you? Put me down. Well, now you're going to... Better send your little cell skirt scurrying back to the back alleys where she belongs, Barbarian. You and I have some serious talking to do. Crom blast me, the Snow Raven. Soon. You mind telling me just where we're headed, girl? Call me girl one more time, Barbarian, and you'll find yourself forced to give up banditry for guarding harems. As for where we're going, this is the home of Wong Bufar, the most skillful gem cutter in all of Kitai. A new emperor now reigns in Kathai, as you well know, and Wong Bufar has been commissioned to prepare a fabulous ruby as a gift for His Majesty's forthcoming wedding to the royal princess of Kusan. You and I are going to steal that ruby. You have henchmen of your own. Why split with me? Because this job calls for a man of iron sinews. That's why. Besides, why should I split with several when I can split with just one? Clunk. Smoothly done, Cimmerian. Now the ruby. It's there, locked behind this iron gate. I see it, woman. And a handsome bauble it is. Ankh, too. By Ishtar, it gleams like a blood-red sun, doesn't it, Cimmerian? There's more wealth contained in that one stone than in a dozen caravans. Better keep an eye peeled in the event that there are other guards. Oh, I will, woman, but until we actually cash in that ruby, rest assured I'll be keeping my other eye on you. Presently. By the way, which fence hereabouts do you figure will give us the best price for our little gemstone? Oh, I'd hardly trouble myself about that if I were you, Conan. What the devil? Ha ha. But don't worry. I'm sure my comrades and I will succeed in turning a handsome profit. You deceitful, slow-eyed slut. The second I tear loose from here, I'm going to... Good work, Raven. The huge-shouldered fool's ours. The only place you're going, dog, is to hell. Well, is he dead? Dead. Just listen to him. He's not even out cold. But in an instant more, no, I don't want him to be killed that way. We'll tie him up and drag him to the well. Whatever you say, Raven, it's your place to give the orders. And ours to follow them. 'Tis a slow death I have in mind for you, Barbarian. These crumbling ruins were once home to an ancient race that celebrated its great occasions with human sacrifices. 'Tis said that to commemorate a single coronation, as many as 1,000 victims were first flayed alive and then hurled still writhing into sacrificial wells. Your death here by starvation will stand as a stern warning to the other plunder-hungry bandit chiefs of the fate that awaits them if they dare compete with me. Throw him in. Heh heh. Where to now, Raven? Kathai. I've already arranged a profitable little transaction with a certain merchant there who's planning to resell our newly acquired bauble to a Quarani sheikh. Curse you, Crom. Why do you keep making me forget that women are fountainheads of deceit? Well, now what's this? A pair of sacrificial flaying knives, worn and rusted, but still serviceable, even as the Cimmerian laboriously cuts through his bonds and painstakingly scrutinizes the well's moss-slick walls in search for the easiest path to the top. A series of unanswered questions race through his mind. Did the Snow Raven really mean for him to die in this well? Or did she fully intend for him to escape? And if so, why? The answer remains a mystery. But either way, the barbarian means to have his revenge. Meantime, I give a pretty piece of bronze for her thoughts, I'll tell you that. Forget about her thoughts and listen to mine. Why wouldn't she let me hack that blasted Cimmerian's head off? Answer me that. She said she wanted him to suffer, but the real reason is she's going soft. Later, is she asleep yet? Look, she's still lying. Good. Then now's as good time as any to dissolve our little partnership. And recover that sweet little ruby for Holy Mitra. What? What's the matter, belly-skulking jackals? Don't tell me you've never seen a pile of stones before. Ugh. You may as well lay down those bolas, woman. You haven't, you bloodthirsty she-dog. You're cross with me, aren't you, Karn? You're cross with me, aren't you, Karn? Because I've slain your friend. But I'll be more than happy to make amends by consigning you to a place of honor. In hell. Gasp. Ha! You've not a weapon left to your name now, slut. Don't be foolish, Torpa. You know you can't kill me. You're far too oafish and clumsy. You've a brain. Huh? Only a prawn could possibly envy Snow Wraith. I'm not stupid. No, of course not, Torpa. Not anymore. Gah. Dawn. Blast. The carrion lie here rotting in the new day's sun. But that slow-eyed she-devil is gone. Several weeks later, in the Imperial Palace at Cathay. You summoned me, Emperor? Yes, Duna, I did. As you are, of course, aware, the Royal Princess of Kusan will be arriving here tomorrow to commence the final preparations for our wedding. It is of the utmost urgency, as you know, that she bear me a male offspring as soon as possible, so that when the time comes that I succumb to the choice of the twos, as my father did, the competing warlock cliques will not seize upon the moment. And plunge our kingdom into a bloody civil war. Your Majesty is quite correct, and yet there exists still another threat against which we must remain vigilant. Tomorrow also ushers in the year that appears every half-century in our calendars. The year, yes, of course, but you obviously are about to refer to rat cults. It was my venerable great-great-grandfather who finally stamped them out. Is that not so, Duna? He did not succeed entirely, Your Highness. It is whispered that new adherents have raised up the old, and are gathering together in secrecy to worship the rat god and carry out the ancient heinous sacrificial rites. The point, Duna? The point, Majesty, is that the rat god's blood The point, Majesty, is that the rat god's blood-mad acolytes will attempt to usher in the year of the rat as they have always done, by kidnapping a royal Khitan princess and sacrificing her on the altar of their deity. Then I leave it to you, Duna, to see that a contingent of royals attend the princess from the moment of her arrival. Of course, Your Majesty. And now, if you will excuse me, there are still numerous matters regarding preparations for tomorrow's royal procession that must be attended to. Make way for Her Exalted Majesty Princess Shiana of Kusan, soon to become the beloved bride of our Emperor, and thus, by such marriage, the Empress of Cathay. As the royal procession wends its way majestically through the streets of Cathay, with timpani rolling and imperial banners fluttering in the breeze, the more audacious souls among the gathered throng raise up the eyes for the barest of infants in hopes of stealing a fleeting glimpse of the passing princess. Among the crowd of reverent onlookers, however, there is one man who displays not the slightest interest in the comely personage. Nay, for his steel blue eyes are instead fixed upon the Empress to be's jewel-encrusted royal crown, which is being borne aloft on the cushion of the finest silk. 'Tis a prize, muses the barbarian, which no self-respecting master brigand could easily let pass. And indeed, hours later, as nightfall once again envelops Imperial Cathay, it soon becomes clear that the Cimmerian, hunched darkly amid the shadows of the palace wall, has guessed as rightly as a man could guess. And within moments, that's it, woman, purloin the crown. Mayhap we can share the proceeds the way we did the ruby. I'll have to hand it to you, barbarian. You're as dogged as a randy bull. But where's love concerned, I'd rather like that in a man. But now listen to me, woman. Blast. Where plunder is concerned, however, I must confess I like it a good deal less. Now the palace guards will come and kill you, I suppose. Crom. Too bad. Curse you, woman. Come back here. Ugh, now I've a new problem. Out there in the hallway. The palace guard. An intruder in the chamber of the crown of jewels. Carve him. So you're spoiling for a little fight today, eh, dogs? Well, by Crom, at almost any other time I'd be more than happy to oblige you. Gunk. So let me through. After him. While at the self-same instant, in the palace grounds below, behold, the rat is with us. That servant's door is unattended. Something must have drawn the guards away. Indeed, 3 floors above. Look, there he is. Ah! And in the hallway, fronting on the princess's bedchamber, just down the hall. Hark! A commotion in the south corridor. Look! An intruder has somehow breached the palace wall. He may harbor designs on the princess. We'd better go after him. And so... Meanwhile... Stop him. Mayhap he does, but even this steel-thewed behemoth has no eyes in the back of his head. Shall we slit his throat for him, Captain? Nay, it shall be infinitely more entertaining to shackle him into the courtyard, and watch as he is crushed to a bloody, gory pulp. Is your doomed tusker ready, guardsman? Ready, Captain. Excellent. We have already seen how this barbarian fights. Now we shall see if he can die as impressively. Aye, forward, my mighty bull. Let the barbarian cur feel the full crushing force of your weight, as the gargantuan pachyderm lumbers across the courtyard, bellowing defiantly. The Cimmerian grits his teeth and strains savagely against his bonds. Alas, however, his efforts are unavailing, for the chains and manacles are newly forged, and thus unweakened by either wear or rust. And the iron staples to which the chains are fastened are also newly forged, and the iron bolts which secure them are strong and sturdy. Praise Crom for the small favors. However, the terracotta tiles that make up this ancient royal courtyard, though, are nearly a millennium old. I missed. Move quickly, fool, quickly, while he still has one arm shackled to the ground. Turn, blast you, turn before he can manage to tear himself free of it. Whoosh. Wah? Blast you to... Leftward, mighty bull, leftward. Don't just stand there gaping at him, fools. Stop him. That archway leads back into the palace. After him. While at the same moment, the princess, kidnapped? But how if a contingent of the palace guardmen, a barbarian who created a cunning diversion while... That's a lie, Majesty. I sneaked in here to settle a score with a former comrade, nothing more. But if you call your blasted guardman off my back, you have my word I'll find the woman and bring her back. And why should we trust you, barbarian? Because I know the desert waste just beyond your borders as no other man alive does. And it is in the desert that the cultists worship their rat god. Very well then, barbarian. Find her for me, and if you succeed, the chamois pouch full of gems shall be yours. 1,000 pardons, Excellency. Silence, and fetch the key to these manacles. I want this barbarian set free at once. Sometime later, in a noble mansion on the far side of the city. But do not. Surely you can see that this barbarian you have mentioned represents a dire threat to our carefully laid plans. Were the emperor to die without issue, it is who would be most advantageously positioned for accession to imperial power. That is why I know full well, Lodak. That is why, of course, why we had planned to abduct the princess of Kusan ourselves to ensure that the royal wedding would not take place. As it happened, the rat cultists were kind enough to intervene and save us the trouble, but now I understand your concerns, brothers. Should the barbarian actually succeed in rescuing the princess, kidnapping her again will become 10 times more difficult as before. Yes, Duna, and that is why we must take up the barbarian's trail at once to see that he does not succeed. For if he fails, fine, but if he succeeds, then he must be destroyed. The Wuhuan Desert is filled with vast natural formations of petrified rock that loom heavenward as though they were gigantic columns erected by the gods to support the sky. And here also, shadow-haunted ruins without number, virtually all of them unused for 1,000 years and more. For nearly a week now, the barbarian has been combing these ruins, searching ceaselessly for the secret sanctuary of the outlawed rat cult. All his efforts, however, have thus far proven completely unavailing. Walk, but things may now be looking up. Crom. How long has he lain unconscious, the Cimmerian cannot calculate. Even now he would be inclined to regard the grotesque tableau about him as merely the trappings of a hideous nightmare, were not the dronings of the rat-masked acolytes and the ravenous squealing of the temple vermin so undeniably real. Hear us, O omnipotent Lord of rats. Hear us. The bloody rat bites on his neck and chest are undeniably real too, as are the blood-curdling shrieks that he hears. Shrieks that reverberate off the ancient high-domed ceilings only to die away amid the monotonous, mind-numbing chants. Meanwhile, rivulets of blood from Conan's rat bites have flowed down his arms, drenching the ropes that bind his wrists. Help me, Sa, please. Show us you approve our nubile offering by allowing your brown-furred emissaries to devour her living, squirming flesh. Curse you, little devils. Must you sink your fangs into my hands 3 times for every 1 time you gnaw on those bloody ropes? Finally. Brothers, look. The infidel has escaped his bonds. Bah, no matter. It is only the Kusan princess whom our deity insists being devoured piecemeal by his sharp-fanged hordes. For this bronze-thewed meddler of a more mundane form of death will serve equally as well. You blood-mad fiends, out of my way. Ung! Blast it, woman. Must you make ears burst with that infernal racket? Can't you see that I am coming as fast as I can? The Emperor bade you come for me. The Emperor bade you come for me. He must have, but still, you must be supremely devoted to him to have. I'm devoted to the jewels he is offering, nothing more, and to getting the 2 of us out of this sinkhole alive. The offering, if we fail to recover it, the all-high Lord of rodents will wreak his doom on all of us. They're following us. They're following us. Forget them, girl. By now there's a good deal more bluster left in them than fight, and besides, by the time they've saddled their horses, you and I are going to be long gone from here. They may return to the palace and attempt to kidnap you again, of course, but that will be for His Majesty to worry about, not me. Later. Here you are, girl, wear this. It'll keep you... better try to look your best, girl. Look, my... For it appears we've got company. They've been stalking me with all the subtlety of a cave bear in heat ever since I left Katai. And from the looks of this motley crew, cutthroats, mercenaries, and royal advisors, I'd say we're caught up in the middle of some foul palace intrigue. We're 10 to 1. Got him. 10 to 1, Why, a single Cimmerian's stripling could probably defeat an entire army of you scum. And one Cimmerian and one Raven could probably overhaul all of Kitai. Blast. I picked up whisperings of your mission to rescue the princess in Kitai, and... Ugh. And it occurred to me you might not mind it if I offered you a little help. That was very thoughtful of you, Raven, and why else did you follow me? Well, I also picked up whisperings of the huge reward you've been offered, and I thought if I helped you, you just might be generous enough to share it with me. You and I really are birds culled from the same flock, Conan. We'd be wise to pool our resources and divide the spoils. I might just agree to that, woman, provided the spoils included that priceless ruby and gem-encrusted crown you stole from me. Presently. How are you feeling, Cimmerian? How are you feeling, Cimmerian? Why, just fine, woman. I can't recall, in fact, when I ever felt better. I once called you a randy bull, Cimmerian, and I was right. My head, it's... Any other man would have toppled into unconsciousness within seconds after imbibing that drug-laced wine. But you kept me waiting here nearly an hour before passing out. And with the first pale light of dawn, but that wine was potent in my head. Mitra, and Ishtar, they're both gone. Days later. Take that wench, this time she's pushed me too far. Soon. You halt, stand where you are. You can't... It's only fair I warn you, dogs. I'm in a bad mood. Meanwhile, bandit queen though you may be, Snow Raven, you have earned our eternal gratitude for returning my... She earned nothing. That sack of gems is mine. 'Twas I who saved the girl from the rat-worshipping madmen, not you. But if not for me, those mandarins might have killed you both and the princess. Slut, you drugged my wine. What did you expect, to steal kisses from me and not pay for them? You're a damned thief. We're both of us thieves, you brawny fool. If you two will kindly excuse me, arguing makes me very uncomfortable. So I think I'll just wait outside and while you... By the eyes of Gasp! Erlich. No! Holy Mother of Mitra! Well, I'll be a Cushite. What a small world it is. I wondered what this monstrosity was when I first encountered it in one of the Emperor's caravans. Barbarian, look! Look sharp! Another of its tentacles is encircling your leg. Blast it! I much appreciate the timely warning, girl, but then it seems that knowing just when to be helpful, when not to be, is a skill you've managed to elevate in. Whack. Into a finely honed art. Oh, do stop carrying on so. Will you, Cimmerian? Is the horror is dead, or isn't he? Dead. And so is his majesty. Then I say prudence dictates we get away from here promptly, wouldn't you, barbarian? But here, take the jewel sack. You were so enthralled watching that monstrosity trying to devour me that you set it down on the tabletop and nearly forgot about it. Forgot about it? You know me better than that, Conan. I only wanted both hands free in the event you needed my help. I think I'll head south, Cimmerian, and you, west. But don't cry your eyes out, woman. Our paths are bound to cross again. And most likely I'll just ride by some almshouse one day and you'll be there. Me? End up in an almshouse, barbarian? Not likely. Not so long as there are harebrained fools like you who are content to ride off empty-handed, leaving me with a sack full of... rocks? Somehow when he handed me the gems, he switched the pouches. I swear I'll kill that man. I swear... The lady means it, barbarian. Watch out.